I believe it was 2 months ago we started seeing racist banners and flyers on campus. They've popped up a few times in the past as well, but I think this time it really shook the campus a lot harder, I think. And President Trouth wasn't very fast to come forward with a statement on the flyers and posters that have been going around, and she got a lot of criticism for that, and I think it was good criticism. She deserved that criticism for replying so slowly.
Racism has become a problem on this campus only because of the way it's addressed. It's something that is a very hot and sensitive topic right now, and so obviously anything will trigger whoever. You know, it doesn't matter what it's about or who it's about. It's a topic that will always be a hot topic. And so on this campus, I think it's kind of prioritized depending on the situation. So whenever a racist remark comes for is towards a minority, it's addressed as no, it's really bad. You know, we'll get an email from the president, kind of copy and pasted from the last situation, and it'll just say, you know, we don't tolerate this. We're a Hispanic civic institution or whatever. We're a diverse campus, which we are. You know, we are a diverse campus, and you know, there's a lot of us here, but somehow with these last recent, you know, attacks towards minorities from white supremacist groups or whatever they're called, it always just seems to be kind of like shoved aside. But after clearly, you know, yesterday or today or whatever, the University Star column just came out, I think that was addressed immediately. You know, and it's a thing that's like, of course it was wrong. Like, I mean, the things that were said were very hurtful and disrespectful, but it's also just like, I wish they would react that way towards what it would be towards our people, to the minorities, to the people that actually complete this campus. You know, it's like, I get it, they're both super wrong, but they're both super addressed completely different.
What they need to do to address diversity and the lack of, like, I guess, action that you've seen is to take action. A senator from student government just proposed a resolution. They got pushed back to next semester. It's like, why we have to be deliberate and immediate in our action, and the state hasn't brought that to students or hasn't provided students that sort of urgency that students ask for or need.
In the case when this opinion article titled "Your DNA is an Abomination" came forward, she responded immediately, which also received a lot of criticism, understandably, because while she says that Texas State supports everyone of all races, creeds, colors, genders, whatever, her responses to these kinds of things really speak a lot to how she and the university treat other people, or want to treat other people, I think.
A couple weeks ago, and I was listening to Kendrick Lamar, specifically DNA, and he has this couplet where he says, my DNA is not for imitation, your DNA an abomination. And obviously he's being very metaphorical in speaking to white America. But when I heard that line, I wanted to go home and sort of expand upon that little thesis that I saw within that couplet.
University's response to that article was just, it was wrong.
I thought it was crazy to see the contrast between the email that Dr. Child sent students at the University Star article as compared to the same sort of language and verbiage that she used whenever we saw racist flyers and banners and posters, you know, hung up around the school wherever they were.
I mean, for the fascist banners and flyers that have been appearing on our campus for over a year now, at times Denise would take days to respond to them. And as far as I know, the administration never had a plan to catch these people, whether they were students or members of sort of the overall Central Texas community. Like, yeah, she would denounce them, decry them, and say this doesn't represent the university, blah, blah, blah. But with me, it's like, automatically denounce my piece as racist. No sort of attempt to contact me and discuss the piece before putting out an official statement.
Well, I can't say that I wasn't offended, because when I first read it, I was like, well, what jackwagon wrote this? That it didn't sound right in my head.
Of course it was wrong. The things that were said were very hurtful and disrespectful, but it's also just like, I wish they would react that way towards what it would be towards our people, to the minorities, to the people that actually complete this campus,
And I feel like me using that as a title, like me saying that for white people to read Your DNA is an Abomination and to take that personally, that was certainly not the intent, because the title is very tongue-in-cheek. Like if that's all you read and that's what you're getting from it, then that's a fatal misreading. And I feel like just that sort of fatal misreading of the title sets into effect several other misreadings that you can have within that title. Like, I think if people are reading this and thinking that I'm calling for quote-unquote white genocide, when if you read it 2 or 3 times, it's pretty explicit that I'm talking about ideas or the idea of whiteness.
As I kept reading it, one word near the end stuck out to me. It said, ontologically speaking, whiteness or white people need to die, something like that. Now, ontologically means an idea. It's metaphorical, So it wasn't saying white people literally need to die. He was saying just the idea, the systematic way we view race needs to die. That's what he was saying, I think.
I could see how people misinterpret this piece, but at the same time, in a college environment in which our critical thinking skills are meant to be nurtured, it's really sad too.
A lot of times when these things happen, people feel very hurt that they're going on our campus. People feel, I guess, hurt, but they also need a place where they can express how they feel, right? So with a lot, especially with shootings and mass murders and everything else that's gone on other campus, with the bomb threats that we've had, people are kind of scared of what these things mean, or there's going to be an escalation of these things. So first of all, it's usually people kind of expressing that, and then at the same time, it's also what can we do? That's usually the next step, is how do we combat this? Or what's the response from the tech state? Like, what are we going to see from them? And we kind of wait on that too as well.
Honestly, the tone of my piece is very much eclipsed by people like Frantz Fanon. Like, if you read the autobiography of Malcolm X, like if you've ever read James Baldwin, if you've ever heard Huey P. Newton, who was one of the co-founders of the Black Panther, speak, this isn't the first time that these sort of sentiments have been expressed. And I know for a lot of people, a lot of white people, this is the first time they've ever felt uncomfortable in their lives. And to them, I would say, welcome to this arena of being uncomfortable, because this is what it's been like for people of color for 500 plus years.